Hello again. Depending on when you're going to see this, it's morning, afternoon, or evening. All right. So today I want to look at this problem where we are to solve numbers, taking note of the signs that the numbers have. The question here is, this is -6. I know most of us are used to writing -6, -3, you know. What's that? So this, when you have negative numbers like this, it is best you represent it this way. For those of us who use the Cambridge textbook, the AQA, whatever we use, those foreign texts, you will understand what I'm talking about. But for those of us who have not seen this before, please, we represent negative numbers like this. So this is -6. They want us to do -6 minus -3 plus 4. This is an arithmetic operation. It's just that we need to carry more than one of these operations. They want us to add, they want us to subtract. But we have what we call the rules for signs. Rules for signs. I'm going to write it here. This is no. So we have what we call rules. Rules for signs. These rules for signs, there are some certain things that we need to know when we see some of these signs that represent the arithmetic operations we carry out in mathematics. All right, so when you see this, sometimes you see minus times minus, and you're going to see minus times plus, and we have plus times minus, and plus times plus, of course. So this minus times minus is plus, take note. So when you are asked to multiply two negative numbers, the product of two negative numbers is going to give you a positive number, minus times plus. Then minus times minus is plus, minus times plus is minus, plus times minus, swap the other way, is still minus. And when you have two positive numbers, the product of two positive numbers is a positive number. So these rules for signs will guide what we are going to do here. And if you notice, I also have a number line, because I know that Key Stage 2 students will watch this video. Key Stage 3 students will see this. For those of us who are in Key Stage 4, we might not necessarily need this. But for the purpose of those who are in lower secondary and higher primary, they will actually need to work with this. So that's why you have this here. Okay, if I've said that, we will use these rules for signs to solve this problem. So when we see this, we have to be very careful with the signs. First of all, you have to identify all the signs that you have. This is a -6, this is a -3, and this is a +4. What is connecting the -6 to this -3 is the minus sign. What is connecting this -3 to this +4 is a positive sign. So we're going to look at this as it will help us solve the problem. All right, so stay with me. Let's do this together. All right, so this is -6 minus -3 plus 4. Let's look at this. I'm just bringing it down. But remember, this is -6. Just take note, -6. What am I going to do here? This is a minus, and what is connecting this to this is another minus. It is the same thing. This minus here, remember, I told us that one of the rules for signs states that minus times minus equals plus. One of the rules for signs. And I have a minus here, and I have another minus here. This minus I have here with nothing, only seeing this other minus here, it's asking us that we multiply these two negative signs. So minus times minus is plus. So that -3 will give us +3. Please, you have to take, because if we don't understand these rules for signs and look at these signs carefully, we are definitely going to make a mistake. Even if we understand how to use bead maths or board mats, and we use it to follow the order of operation. We need to first understand that there are rules that governs these signs that we use to carry out the arithmetic operations. So like I said, when you have -3 here, this is minus and this is -3. What is connecting this -3? Look at the minus sign. So this is minus times minus, and minus times minus is plus. That is why this is +3. Then we have +4. Look at the question. All right, so if that is the case, of course, this is same thing as saying -6 plus 7, because 3, this is +3, and this is +4. 3 plus 4, 4 plus 3, 7. So we have -6 plus 7. Now, for those of the students who will watch this, who are in key stage 2, I'm going to use the number line here to show us how to work out numbers like this. But without it, I already know that -6 plus 7, which is the same thing as saying 7 minus 6 is 1. I know this. But how will we use the number line to show that this is 1 because of this negative sign or negative number we're seeing here? We'll come this way. This is -6. If you look at this number line carefully, this is where -6 is. So we're going to start here. -6 plus 7. Remember, look at where these are the positive integers and these are the negative integers. So because we're doing -6 plus 7, -6 plus 7 will mean that I will start here and move some steps forward. How many steps will I move forward? I will move 7 steps forward because this is a +7. So that if I start here, this is my first step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stop. So -6 plus 7 is equal to 1. And what kind of 1 is this? It's +1. For positive integers, we don't need to write any. There's nothing like you writing +1. When 1 is on its own, we know that it is +1. So it is important that we take note of this. But do not forget that someone saying -6 plus 7 and the one who is also writing 7 minus 6, they're just doing the same thing. So take note of this so that we're not confused along the line. So the answer to this question is 1. Very simple. All you need to do is take note of the rules for signs. You know, one thing about mathematics I like to tell my students, it's a subject of instruction. You have to learn to follow rules, understand the rule, take note of the strategy. It is as easy as anything that you can do. So for people who see maths and they are afraid and they are scared, oh, I don't know it, I can't do it, it's even easier than most of the things you think are very easy. Okay, I'm going to work this one out. Look at this second question. They want us to work this out. -7 plus -5 minus -4. This question is actually different from this, because in this case there was actually nothing connecting this there was nothing here that is here. We just have this and this. But in this case we have this and we also have this. So these are two different signs, plus and minus. What do we do? Are we going to work with plus or minus? What will be here? All we need to do is remember the rule. Plus times minus is equal to minus. So that plus this times this minus is going to give us the minus sign. So I know that what I have here is -7 minus 5 minus times minus is plus, remember, +4. This is what we need to take note of. So if we have done this, the next thing I'll do here is, watch this. This is -5 and this is +4. minus 5 and plus 4. For those of us who are in key stage 2, of course, we can come back to the number line again and look at where we have our minus 5. Minus 5 is this way. So this is minus 5. We're going to start here, minus 5. Plus 4 will mean that we move how many steps? And we move some steps forward because this is plus 4. So this is my first step, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I started here and I ended here, and this is minus 1. So that minus 5 plus 4 is minus 1. So what we have here, we have actually resolved this. Minus 5 plus 4, and everything here is minus 1. And this is minus 7. So what we have here is minus 7 minus 1. Minus 7 minus 1. Stay with me. So minus 7 minus 1, remember this is minus 7. We're using the number line still. So we're going to start with minus 7. But because we're doing minus 7 minus 1, look at the direction of the negative number. So minus 7 minus 1 will mean that we start from this minus 7 and move a step backwards or a step inwards. So minus 7 minus 1, from this point to this point, we'll start here and we stop here. And this is what? Minus 8. Why is understanding this with whole numbers very important? It is important that we understand how to work this out with whole numbers, because the practical application will be seen when we have algebraic expressions and we're asked to work out algebraic expressions giving different signs. Most of us get afraid, we feel very afraid, because in algebra you have numbers attached to letters. But if we understand how to resolve negative positive numbers with integers, with whole numbers, without letters, when you see letters connected to numbers in case of algebraic expression, you can easily work it out. Why? Because you understand the rules for science. So until I see you again, keep practicing. If you have issues, you have problems related to this, just meet me, come to the comment section. That's how you can reach me and you can resolve questions like this together. So until I see you again, keep solving maths.